Okie dokie. It says I'm live. Let's make sure it's not lying on YouTube. Oh, I got a picture. Okay. All right. So this is the Q&A section. Hopefully there's a couple of people out there. I know we're invited. I'm a few minutes early, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Love you, Susan. And where was I? All right, so this morning the subjects were, hey, Squatch. No response yet. I'm sorry. I really am. This morning's subjects were call for testing. Literally take anybody who's willing to step up and say, I'm willing to put it together. First person to walk in the door wins. Signaling gear for get home bags and what Ukraine means for the Second Amendment. Well, I'm in a rush, sort of, because it's not what you think, bud. But either way, I was really hoping for those hard-hitting questions about Ukraine, guys. That's like a big one for me. I just, maybe in the last 5 minutes, 10, let's say 10 minutes, saw a video on YouTube about what's going on there. Azov battalion claims that they hit a Russian supply depot so hard that you could probably see the explosions from orbit. I'm not quite so sure, but I do know one thing. Azov Battalion did not start out as Ukrainian army. They started out as a private, legally as a gun club, or maybe just as a club. I know what's being said about Azov Battalion, right? They're Nazis. They're neo-Nazis. Well, even without having seen the evidence, I'm not willing to say that's not true. I'm not quite ready to go full on and say, yeah, oh yes, they're Nazis. I'm just not willing to say, no, they're not. I think it's much more likely than not that it's true. They were basically contracted to the military, and it is what it is. Most Americans don't realize this. You notice that my sweatshirt is an American Revolutionary War infantry enlisted. Okay, great. Most people don't realize that George Washington's army, in its very start, was a mercenary army. We use that term mercenary as a derisive term. Okay, well, that doesn't make it true. All right. Washington's army started out as mercenaries. He put the army together. He funded it. He paid for training, paid for equipment. He paid for their salaries out of his own pocket. And then he presented them to the legislature of the colony of Virginia in 1740 something as an army to protect Virginia, the royal colony of Virginia, from Indians and French, and then marched off to confront the French and ignited the French and Indian War. And that's the truth. The reality is the French and Indian War on the American colonial frontier started because one pugnacious, nasty little shit named George Washington, who was a second lieutenant in the militia, started a war pretty much by himself. Okay. Now, this second lieutenant made some very serious errors in judgment. The French were camped out. They had a white flag up, which means it's not surrender. It's a signal for a truce. Please stop shooting at us long enough for us to say something. And if you don't like what you hear, then we can go back to shooting at each other. This mercenary army was then presented to the legislature of Virginia as an army, as a militia. Oh, okay. All right. It's a private mercenary army, or what we currently call a private military contractor. Except private military contractor means a lot of different things. Okay. The people who supplied the bottled water to U.S. forces in Iraq were private military contractors. The first modern mercenary army, which was Global Solutions, Executive Solutions, is a private military, was a private military contractor. So that's a pretty wide range. But mercenary really does mean private men bearing arms on behalf of a client, on behalf of a paying party. We kind of need to get over this stigma of mercenaries on the battlefield, because the fact of the matter is they do have a purpose. And I'm sometimes astounded to see just how much people will read about that word. Okay. End rant about private military contractors. Let's move on to something productive. What the conflict in Ukraine means for private military, or for private citizens bearing arms in the future, is it's almost written in stone that they're going to go that direction. There's going to be some version of the Second Amendment globally. Now, let's see, this is 2022, excuse me. Let's go to 2040. By 2040, there will be some version of this basically everywhere. I acknowledge and accept the fact that what's going on in Ukraine has led to some foreseeable and avoidable consequences. Criminals getting these guns. It's unfortunate, and they were paid for by taxpayers. Essentially, the taxpayers armed the Bloods and the Crips. That's not good. And that's very, very unfortunate. It is what it is. Okay, so just after the live stream, I saw a headline. It says ATF shuts down gun company permanently. And this is purely a hit piece. I reading it, I realized where the writers stand, which side the writer was supporting. It's kind of hard to miss. But here's the facts of the case as best as I have with what I've got. There's a particular gun company, I think it was out in New Mexico. They produced very cheap guns, under $150 a piece. Okay. That strikes me as extremely cheap, disturbingly low price. But that doesn't say too much, really, because I want to develop one that's under $200 and a standardized design in support of Datislav Act's execution, right? How do we actually make this work as rubber hits the road? Well, part of it is we're going to have to develop a gun that's under $200. I have like 3 ideas floating out there, one of which is basically a Glock clone, where they get it under that $200 mark. It is what it is. They are banned from selling guns intra-state because New Mexico didn't like their guns that are under $150. They'd sell them out of state. Okay. Under Datislav, that by itself would have been illegal. The state could not in any way stop them from selling intrastate. Well, let's move along. Criminals were then going out of state, buying the guns, and coming back. Okay. So how did this change anything? Well, let's move on. How did this ban change anything? But let's move on. One of their guns was used in a shooting, and it looks like it was actually kind of a bad one. Okay. Again, how did this ban change anything? The company was sued, which is illegal under FOPA, Firearm Owners Protection Act. Yeah, Firearm Owners Protection Act, FOPA. Well, okay, fine. It was done. The company filed for bankruptcy. I would too. Then reformed under a new name. This is a common practice. I'm going to put it out there. When Enron fell apart, the company itself did disintegrate, but the subordinate pieces then reformed as new companies in the plural. Okay. All right, great. Good. When my one-time bread and butter company fell apart because our first partner died rather unexpectedly, we reformed we declared that company not insolvent. Basically, that company went out of business. We got a new partner to get the L, and reformed under the new partnership. Great, good, excellent. So this is not abnormal at all. Moms demand blood money, sued the state of New Mexico for allowing this company to reform. And I don't know what asshole judge thought that this was such a good idea, but he suborned it, put the company back out of business. That also would have been illegal under Dadislav. You cannot sue a company if they have not done something wrong. You cannot sue a person if they have not done something wrong. All right? If you're ready to take them in front of a judge, let me rephrase that. They have to be taken in front of a judge and shown to the judge these people did something illegal. They made this product that was intended to be converted to automatic, which is illegal. Well, okay, you got to prove the intent. Well, they were selling this other parts kit that is able to convert it to automatic, and the advertisement for the parts kit is right there in every box. Whew, that's a pretty high standard to achieve. And does it actually prove they intended that? I'm going to let a judge figure that out later. I will say that that was the scenario that I had in my own mind. And I'm still going to say I'll let the judge figure that out later. Short of something like that, they didn't do anything wrong. They didn't sell a defective product. Okay. They just sold a cheap gun. So what? What about it? And I'm going to say something else. That part of Dadislav that says you cannot sue somebody unless they've committed a crime, that was written with the Saturday Night Special in mind. Yeah. It's the companies that made those Saturday Night Specials, as cheap and disgusting as they may be to me, and I said that out loud, find the idea of the Saturday Night Special disgusting and tawdry. But it's still perfectly legal. So, now what? Oh, sorry, guys. I'm actually not ignoring. I'm checking something. Hey, Squatch, why don't you go ahead and use that link I gave you? And you might as well do it now. And you can sit in the backstage if you want. Or I can bring you out front. Let me know. So anyway, that was the purpose of that law, is to protect even, yes, those gross, nasty, disturbing guns. It is what it is. This entire lawsuit would have been moot. It would have been thrown out as quickly as it had been filed, because it would be illegal under the very Constitution of the United States. Hi, Cheese! You missed the morning stream, honey. Well, maybe you saw the rerun like most people. But, so, anyway. Oh, excuse me, guys. I got it ringing in my left ear all of a sudden. It's called tinnitus, and it's a little gift from my dirty uncle. Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. Jeez. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's unfortunate, jeez. All right. Moving right along. There we go. all of this would have been specifically illegal, and Jimenez Armaments would still be in business. And if Moms Demand Blood Money doesn't like it, well, fuck you. I don't care. I'm for the life of me, I'm having all this trouble understanding where their brains are. Because when they get what they say they want, a repeal of the Second Amendment and a ban on all guns, and they have said that out loud. So don't give me some shit about, we're not coming after your guns. Yes, you are. You're going to go out of business. Your gravy train will be over. Then what are you going to do? Go back to working for Monsanto? Please clue me in here. I'd like to know. I think we'd all love to know what you're going to do for a living then. But whatever. What do I know? I'm just a business mate. How does this tie into Ukraine is that as the world starts to wake up to the need to arm the populace, companies like Jimenez are going to end up getting protection, whether I've written it or not. Nation states will have a vested interest in protecting these companies. Cheese and Squatch are making jokes in the chat, so that kind of caught me off guard, guys. Where was I? Okay. I was 19 minutes into today's rant, or this afternoon's rant, and how Jimenez Armaments, ridiculous and obnoxious lawsuit. Hey, Alpine. Hi, honey. Of course, I call everybody honey, so please don't take it that way. But anyway, correction. I refer to most females that I like as honey. You can blame fixed bayonets or my grandmother or both. Moving right along. As nation states realize we've got to arm the populace, they're going to protect these companies tooth and nail. Anything to allow it to move forward. As Cheese Bear puts it, verbatim, Ukraine supports the need to arm the population. As a matter of fact, right there, folks. Like it or not, that's the truth. Well, Cheese, I don't know you that well. And yes, you can email me anytime you want. It's not like it's no more hidden than YouTube hides it. Oh. So there it is. You once again, not only has Ukraine proven the need to arm the population, but it's also proven the need to protect the manufacturers so they can be armed. Right? Russia tried a Red Dawn in Ukraine, and it's not going the way they planned or anything like what they planned. It's supposed to be a 2-week rollover. Here it is going into 2 months, and it is costing them dearly in equipment, at bare minimum equipment. in manpower. Flag on the play. The manpower story is going absolutely fucking haywire. I can't trust anything I'm seeing out of the media about the manpower costs for either side, right? Because when your back is up to the wall, you do fight like hell, and civilians do get caught in the crossfire of real wars, and both sides inflate their enemy casualty reports. Right? We know this to be true. I don't know if we know this to be true, but I know this to be true because Papa Kerry told me that that's exactly what they did in Vietnam. All right. And even when they thought they knew the real answer, they'd round it off. If you remember the story from, I repeated from Papa Kerry about when the point man stopped the column or stopped the team. Lieutenant asks him what's wrong. He says, I don't know, but it's not right. And they fell back to their last rally point, called in artillery. Okay. The artillery shells this place for about 5-10 minutes or 2 hours. I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Papa Kerry and his team goes back to that area and they found blood trails literally everywhere. They could not tell how many VC or NVA or whatever they were they'd hit. But they could tell how many AK-47 barrels they were actually able to identify. It was over 200. They found over 200 AK-47 barrels. That means that there had been at least 200 AK-47s there, and whatever manpower was needed to take care of a depot that big. Okay, so they made an estimate. That estimate was 90. Okay, a show of hands. How many people believe that there was 90 Viet Cong or NVA, North Vietnamese Army there? In the chat. Three, two, one. Okay, I know that there's at least 3 people in the chat, and not one of you has responded, so less than 30% believe that there was 90 combatants. Okay, Squatch is saying he hasn't the foggiest. That's fair. Okay. You also didn't see me raise my hand. That's a point. That's the point. I don't buy it either. Somebody wrote the report they wanted to write. Okay, Cheese Bear is saying she missed the question. So, do you believe that there was 90 NVA and Viet Cong in the supply depot with at least 200 AK-47s? Yes or no? YN, I don't care. 1 is yes, 2 is no. If you want to go that route, I don't believe it. I don't even believe it was 1/10 that. You already said hi to me, Alpine. You don't have to be that nice. Besides, I don't like it when you guys are nice. It creeps me out. Moving right along. I know the Ukraine is doing the same thing. They're inflating the Russian body count as high as they think they can get away with without looking like it's ridiculously bullshit. Right? And I understand. I get it. That's part of the propaganda war. Okay. They're saying that they killed 15 major Russian commanders. Did you really, though? Or is it closer to 5? Excuse me. Um, I know the answer I believe. I don't know the answer you guys believe. They've destroyed a lot of equipment, and that is very separately verifiable information. I don't have the resources to do it myself. I'm going to have to trust the people who've lied to me so much in the past to be able to verify that, which is unfortunate. But something like 115 aircraft have been supposedly destroyed. Okay, well that's a lot of equipment. That's a lot of equipment. It almost puts that Ghost of Kiev thing back into the believable, although not true this time, category. The Ghost of Kiev scenario was something I could have bought if it hadn't come out that it was actually not true. All right. That's not how it works, Cheese, but I appreciate the thought. And that's a lot of thought. It's a little too much thought for this subject. Um, Flag on the play. Take a shot. Guys, I don't care if you call me all the bad words, although I recommend you have it up just long enough for me to see and then retract it. If you think I'm afraid of racist and homophobic slurs, think again. Uh, Squatch has seen me do it. Exiled has seen me do it. Um, the gentleman I used to live stream with every Friday has seen me do it. And seriously, Kiken Nigger Faggot, that's just the only one I'm willing to go public with because that's about the limit of what YouTube will tolerate me calling myself. Yeah. Every hey, I see you there. Drop it in the you want to come out front or stay back there for a bit? Okay. All right, folks. So, yeah, I'm not afraid of your insults. I can call myself a whole lot worse than you'll ever think of. Hell, I call myself words that don't have an English translation but are really, really, really bad. For those of you familiar with the film Blade Runner, Skin Job, right? That's also one of my nicknames in a certain context. Now what? What do you think you can call me that'll insult me? Good luck. That's a challenge. None of you can come up with something that can offend me. Moving on along. When you can call yourself something that vulgar, yeah, pretty awful human being. Moving on along. Come on, Carrie. Focus, focus, focus. We're 30 minutes into my little rant. And you know what? I skimmed over the first subject. I really do want to take mandatory carry in front of the 2A community. I could do that, Alpine. Yeah. But blue means moderator. And I didn't think you wanted the job. Um, that's not how it works, Squatch. That's not how any of this works. Where was I? Shit. Where? Where? Okay. I really do want to take mandatory carry in front of the 2A community with a one on everyone free for all. Because I know I can take everybody on. If there is something that somebody can think of that I have not already addressed, by God damn, I want to hear it. I actually do. Because that would be fucking amazing. Um, it really is kind of as simple as that. There are exactly 3 people in the 2A community that I'm like, no, I'm not going to talk to that guy. And even they can come to this party, even though I know that they're lying little bastards. That these 3 individuals will be fundamentally incapable of telling the truth, even if you paid them. But this particular party, you know what? Fuck it. Come on down and let's play. Um, I don't want to get too deep into the details, especially of people who are not here to defend themselves, and they're not. But I have caught them lying in the past. And there's somebody I'm pretty sure is lurking now and was lurking this morning. Yeah, I'm not talking about you. What happened on Discord happened on Discord, but that reflects on her, not on you. And obviously, somebody has not seen Total Recall. Go check that out. I'm just saying. No, Cheese, this is not a YouTuber. This is somebody who watches YouTube content and does not produce herself. And talk to Squatch about that, please. He can probably explain it to you better. It would take voice to voice. Sorry, guys. I'm not ignoring. I'm checking something. Oh boy, this is not good. This just got worse. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Damn. I had hoped to do something after the stream, and it looks like some things have fallen apart because technology has failed me again. Ozymadeus 2014. Ozzy, are you on Ghost's channel? So I know there's a Ozzy Osbourne, obviously not the original. Is he on Ghost or DM Foss's channel? Maybe both. Maybe I've seen him on both. Either way, welcome. This is the first time I can remember seeing your name. Yeah, I mean, bring on everybody. The three that I'm thinking of. Oh, okay. So, okay, I'm up to speed. I'm very much up to speed. Yeah. Okay, so we got somebody new to this channel. Uh, who followed me in from Exiled Landis' channel. Ozzy, did you see how she wrecked real estate? That was beautiful. I wish I had that kind of scenario. And oh yeah, by the way, that's kind of what I'm talking about. For those of you that aren't familiar, which should be most of the people in the chat right now, Exiled Lioness is somebody I follow. Let's hold off on the F words here, but there was some guy that's been harassing her on YouTube. Real estate something. It will be nicer for the company. Anyway, he did a 5-hour live stream calling her a racist. He walked into her chat, and I don't know how this got past us. Well, it didn't get past Larry at all. He was screaming from the rooftops. But anyway, swear to God, I think he was about to jump into her stream to say something to her directly. But anyway, she brought him on. She had him on for like 30 minutes, and they were having a really nice conversation. And here I am freaking out, realizing this is the guy Larry was talking about last week. Holy shit. Got to get him out of there. Got to get him out of there. And she had a very, very pleasant conversation with him. Almost like he was looking for something he could take home. No, Squatch, that was not your... that was not your fault. I'll get back to you on that later. And Ozzy, I hope that was Viva Free, because that's who I follow. I love David. Right? I'd like to adopt him as my nephew. And I'm actually older than him, so that would be a whole lot easier. And he could keep his parents. He would just have a new uncle. That's all. Okay. So, back to the topic at hand. I really, really want to fight the entire 2A community. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you the truth. If they could get Mom's Demand, Blood Money's founder herself in there, be still my beating heart. I'd fight her twice. Once for drill and one's for spite. No, geez, this is not Squatch's fault. Ha! That's who to blame. Everything apparently is Sticks and Hammer's fault. Okay. Oh, good for good for you, David. Good for you. All right. Geez, I seem to be asking most of the questions today. Guys, you need to ask questions. That's what the purpose of this the afternoon streams is. Love you, Susan. Okay. I'm going to bring up something completely weird and off topic. Oh, crap. All right. So when the warehouse burnt to the ground, the shed burnt to the ground, all of my red guns went up with it. Red and blue guns. Oh, no, I still have the AR, but that's packed away right now. Okay, so anyway, red and blue guns. They also are orange, and I think I've seen green ones before. Hard rubber, single piece guns, no functions. It's just one solid piece of plastic or rubber. They're nice. The military and police use them for training, so we can point guns at each other, and we know nothing will go bang. That's really nice. It's comforting to know. But there's no functionality. The instructor only has you shouting bang to know that you pulled the trigger. And okay, but how do I know you actually pulled the trigger? I would give me a second, Cheese. I would like to develop a kind of second generation red gun, rubber gun, that has certain basic functionalities. You can show how to field strip it to a degree, so that you can demonstrate, yes, I can clean the gun. And it would have a clicking noise so that when you squeeze the trigger, it makes a click. The instructor knows, yeah, you actually did squeeze the trigger. Okay, great. We can move on. And but geez, ask the question and then I'll decide. All right. If it's about my other channel subject, probably not. So appropriate off-topic questions might be tolerated. Depends on what it is. Sorry, guys. Little housekeeping issue. I have had to cancel next week's live stream. Both of them. I'll reschedule them morning and afternoon. Oh, I can't do the afternoon. Damn it. Damn. All right. I might be able to do the afternoon by itself. Papa Carey texted me about 5 hours ago, 6 hours ago. There's something going on, and he needs me to come back to California for a couple days, well, a week. So it is what it is. I have no control over that part. Ooh, excuse me. Well, actually, I could tell him to pound sand, but I'm not going to. He really needs me to come back. Like, if he could get me to come back today, that would have been great. Oh, God damn it. All right. Short version is that overnight, one of his water lines broke, and it's flooded out the front part of the property. So he needs me to come back and help him basically rebuild that entire line. He's got a patch in for now, but he does. He needs me to come back and help fix this. So I'm going to be there basically all of next week. Pro tip: do not trust your home to 1940s era piping. All right, I gotta catch up on the chat because I went on for a moment. Squatch, yes, I've done things where I'm standing there thinking, what the fuck just happened? And I'm the one that did it. Okay, Cheese is asking me any natural remedy supports for 1, caffeine replacement, and 2, kidney support. The only one of those I could even try to answer is part 2 and water. That's it. That's the only thing I can tell you. Oh. No, I can sort of say cranberry juice. And Alpine is saying chopped liver, which I hope that's an answer to Cheese's question. And that's it. That's all I got. I am not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV. I'm sorry. Squatch had a suggestion. Chicory has a mild stimulant effect. So, sadly, I believe I'm saying. Okay. Apparently, Einstein once said, only 2 things are infinite, the universe and human folly. Well, and he's not so sure about the universe, but human folly clearly has no possible limits. Okay, I'm caught up on the chat and the questions, and we're coming up on about 10 minutes till, and still no response. I'm sorry, guys. There's somebody I was really hoping would show up this afternoon. And I drugged somebody out of bed for nothing. Cheese Bear asks, do you think humans are the apex predators of the land? Generally speaking, yes. And sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes the bear eats you. Yeah, I'm just saying. Our ability to make tools puts us above every other animal. And sometimes the lions eat the humans. And no, Squatch, you are not the apex predator, land or otherwise. No, the apex predator of the land is the M1 Abrams. They're so apex predator that when somebody went to some jack off jokes, went to storm Area 51, one Abrams all by itself stood there and they all ran away in fear. That poor Abrams was so sad. He wanted to play so badly, but they all ran away. Okay. Ozzy asks, I would mention for hopeful news, USA one state house away from constitutional convention. What would you prioritize? Mandatory carry. If we could get a constitutional convention, I would prioritize mandatory carry. Damn strange though. I cannot seem to get any elected officials to actually read it. Um, I know it's those two words, mandatory carry. The problem is, how do I sum up 5 pages in one sentence? I don't understand how to do this either, other than sum it up in 2 words that makes everything very, very clear. Um, and she's saying that she would prioritize Bill of Rights. Well, remember the Second Amendment, which is exactly what mandatory carry is about replacing, is part of the Bill of Rights. So the Bill of Rights would go 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 26. But I mean, that is what it is. And apex weapon, well, that's it being a weapon you never need to use. First of all, I'm with Tony Stark here. Second of all, the merely having it is not always good enough. There will always be somebody who's either mentally ill or just fucking retarded or whatever, and decides that they want to take that weapon on anyway. Okay, Ozzy is pointing out Australia has rights granted by Parliament and taken away by Parliament. It's actually worse than that. Australia's Parliament is elected officials. Okay, fine, great, wonderful. And those elected officials can be dismissed by the Queen as fast as you can say the words dismissed. That you won't even get to the B of by the Queen as fast as they're all sent home. And in a bygone era, dismissed by the king, usually, would also mean your life is now in danger. Doesn't quite work that way anymore. And okay, great, good, wonderful. But those rights can be taken away like that. And it really is just that simple. I'm not one to get into shitpost conspiracy theories, um, but there is actual footage from a factory where they're producing the cabins that are being used for the quarantine facilities that do have some very odd and bizarre design features. And seriously, that particular bit of piping is completely out of place. What is that and what is it doing there? I said I'm not into weird and bizarre conspiracy theories. This guy's theory is very, very weird and bizarre. And over. I was over it before I was under it. But I do have to ask, what the hell is it? What is it doing there? Really, what is it and what is it doing there? I'm thinking maybe it's for another step in the process that he doesn't want to tell us about or he doesn't know about. Maybe it is as simple as he doesn't know, but they really do need to explain what is that and what is it doing there? Why is it there? It doesn't look like it belongs there. It points up. No piping into or out of a house. Well, into or out of a house, except P-trap lines point up. So what the hell is it doing there? Um, Squatch is quoting Princess Bride. All right. Ozzy says the problem with radical change only appeals to those not in power. Asking the people at the top of the ladder to kick it away while they're still standing on it goes against self interest. Unless, of course, that's exactly their point. Maybe they are so determined to win their war that they are willing to slit their own throats to win. And if you're confused in any way, shape, or form, I'm talking about the Green New Deal. Okay. Squatch is recommending Wilding Darlings. I've never heard of them before. And Cheese Bear is pointing out that we have members of Congress that want Biden to do something that is actually illegal. And it's totally illegal. And he is fucking off in la la land as he apparently is. He should be aware of this. And these people have no minds. They somehow think that giving Joe a literal crown will solve their problems and that he will reward them for it. He will not. They will be the first to go to prison. And worse still is he will not give up that crown ever. He will make sure Hunter gets it because then Hunter will be in a position to protect him from the crimes he's committed. No, Squatch, you don't understand. A true totalitarian dictator, Joe is not. He's a wannabe. I'm going to make a play at totalitarian dictator. He is the doddering old king from Princess Bride rather than some savvy political operator. God, that was a mean thing to say. That was. I deserve to get in trouble by the YouTube overlords, and I apologize, YouTube overlords. You're right. Comparing Joe to the king from Princess Bride was a horrible thing to say, but tell me if I'm lying. I know you're watching, guys. Just tell me if I'm lying. That was mean. You're right. That was the meanest thing I've ever said on my channel. Okay. Bite me, Susan. Love you, Susan. I love you so much. Okay, moving right along. Wow, I'm like 3 minutes over. Okay. Um, Squatch says if impeachment happens, then Kamala could go 3 terms. He does not have to be impeached for Kamala to go 3 terms. As Cheese Bear points out, first of all, it would have to be less than 2 years. And we hit the mark in January. So she's good on that. Um, he just has to leave office. If when uh, um, John F. Kennedy was assassinated, his vice president, uh, Lyndon Baines Johnson, was sworn in as president. Like hours later, this is part of the conspiracy theories about the Kennedy assassination. Folks, I don't believe the weirdo conspiracy theories. I believe Lee Harvey Oswald pulled the trigger, that he used that Carcano, and that he did the shot himself. The 3 men on the grassy knoll, they were just 3 men standing there. The cop with the open mic. Well, even though the cop swears it wasn't him, um, I think it was him. He just doesn't want to admit it, and that's okay. That's fine. I get it. Um, whether there were other people that wanted this to happen and maybe helped it to happen, like Ruby. Well, yeah, there probably were other people that helped Oswald do it, but at the end of the day, Oswald pulled the trigger by himself. Okay, so stand by, cheese. I'm going to think about that for a second. Oh, jeez. I fell behind on the chat. So, if something like that were to happen with Biden, that clock has to be at that 2 year mark. But I think it's much more likely he's going to step down for health reasons. Ozzy says at least Palpatine was still rational, and that's true. She's saying no, next January is 2 years. Actually, I think she's right. Excuse me, folks. Okay. Ozzy, I think, is the only person who's new here tonight or today. Ozzy, this crowd, it surrounds themselves by somebody who refers to himself very openly as a nigger faggot. I don't expect you to play nice with me. I expect you to play nice with the other kids, though. Okay. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Red Dwarf is not accurate. And she's asking before or after Hunter gets pardoned. Stepping down or whatever before or after Hunter gets pardoned? He'll probably step down before and leave Harris to do it. And Harris will do it. Harris has to do it because Biden's masters are her masters. There we go. And Joe Exotic is never getting a pardon. That's ridiculous. Hey, geez, I failed math, high school math, 3 times in college, okay? Cut me some slack here. Or no, 4. No, only 3. It was 3 times. She says, I think he will do it. Do what? Pardon Hunter? Pardon Joe Exotic? What? I'm not sure. And I'm sorry, Squatch, but a guy whose only claim to fame and technical knowledge is his ability to care for large cats. Yeah, that's a no as president all the way around. Okay, pardon Hunter. I don't think he'll do it because, hey, Bernie, I'm pretty sure Bernie knows how rough I want you guys to play with each other and with me. Squatch, we'll talk about that here in a couple of minutes. How about that? Okay, whoa. Ozzy says, real fear is after they toss Roundheels Harris, Skeletor is next in chain of continuation in government structure. They are not going to toss Harris. They want her in that place because her real direct masters, and she knows Joe may have legitimately not understood who his real masters were. He may honestly not know this information. How it is he wouldn't know, I don't quite buy. But let's go with that. Harris knows who the real masters are. She has spoke with these people directly, one to one. She knows who the real masters are. They need her in the White House. Period. End of discussion. They will encourage one way or another Joe to leave office before they will let her leave. They need her in the Oval Office. And if it means war to get it there, they will do it. You spelt Tigger wrong. Okay. It's 1G, guys. The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are a wonderful thing. I'll fight you on that, Squatch. I will fight you on that in a few minutes. That's okay. I'm more of an Eeyore anyways. I don't actually care that much. Yeah, it's almost too much information. And no, they don't want Skeletor up in the big chair. Believe it or not, oh, Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein are not beholden to Tehran. They're not. Pelosi's nephew is, but Pelosi herself is not. Well, she is, but it's like 3 or 4 removed. Uh, Gavin is directly beholden. Pelosi managed to get into and stay in office on her own funding before Tehran was able to infiltrate the DNC. She didn't need them, so she never accepted their help. Gavin was not in such a good position, and Harris would never, ever have gotten any further than assistant district attorney, which is a hired position. It's not even an appointed, it's a hired position without their help. Also, she got their help before she was in the district attorney's office. Um. Okay. Ozzy is Boa from Exiled's channel? If so, then you should know how rough I play. I really, really hate that YouTube will not let you guys call me the things that I call myself. I'm amazed at half the shit I get away with sometimes. Okay, we've gone about 15 minutes over. I'm going to go another 15 minutes because I'm still hoping for that thing. New POTUS names their VP ASAP. Cheese, I actually don't know how that works because it hasn't been done since JFK was assassinated. I do know there was an exercise. What the hell was it called? I forgot what it was called. But strangest of stranges, Dick Cheney in the exercise played the vice president. Donald Rumsfeld played the Secretary of Defense. And the first time the protocol was executed, they were in those actual positions. Okay, so Ozzy, you should actually know how rough we play in here. Squatch, I'll talk to you about that later. Okay, I'm gonna start wrapping it up here unless somebody has a question relative to this. Oh, I forgot to say anything about this because I got distracted by the chat. Get at least 2 signaling pieces for your get home bag. 1 audio and 1 visual. Ozzy, you ain't seen shit yet. That's okay. By the way, guys, Ozzy is here from Canada, so give him a round of congratulations. They finally got through a major chink in Tehran's armor. um, because of the trucker, because insignificant part of the trucker rally, Canada has backed down on their vaccine mandates. Um, and good. It was well overdue. Shouldn't have been made to begin with. Okay. You know, smoking, drinking, and handling guns on a live stream are the three biggest no-nos on YouTube. I kind of understand the handling guns uh, rule. Christchurch was a literal and real massacre that the jackass. I want to say worse, but I won't because they nuke your channel for the kind of language I actually want to use. He live streamed it. Obviously, I'm not in a situation to do a Christchurch here. Okay, but people have live streamed suicides too. Okay, Susan, everything you do and say is a lie, but at least you got a point there. I'll give you that one. Smoking and drinking doesn't make any sense to me at all. How do you know what's in this cup, honey? Maybe this is 150 proof bourbon. Okay, I don't drink bourbon. It would be 150 proof vodka. You don't. And maybe I am such an alcoholic that I can handle my liquor. Um, oh, Ozzy has corrected me. The provinces have backed down on their vaccine mandates, but not Justina. You need a bosun's mate. Um, yeah, Rumble does exist, but Rumble is I'm on locals and I have the worst time trying to give people money there. Um, okay. Bernie asked, do you think it has to do with the ties to the Biden empire having interests in Ukraine? Well, a lot of things have ties to the Biden's interests in Ukraine. So you got to be a little bit more specific than that. Um, I am. I'm on locals, Ozzy. Yeah, the military industrial complex is a no. Don't waste my time with that one. Um, and I have age restrictions on my streams as well. My entire channel is not intended for children. I discovered the hard way to set it up that way. Otherwise, you can't comment. There's a reason they do that. All right. And I'm not going to send you down a rabbit. I'm not even going to tell you where the rabbit hole is. But short version is people who like children in a way you should never, ever, ever like children at all found a way to abuse kids on YouTube. Somebody raised the alarm and said, hey, this is a thing. And YouTube's solution was that they were going to not allow comments on videos of children. What? That does what to solve the problem? Like, oh my God, you're fucking retarded. Well, do you have a better idea? Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I do have a better idea. Actually, let them comment, and then let the FBI go down and talk to them. But whatever. What do I know? I'm just a business mate. Ooh. Well, Ozzy's talking about the vids I was just referring to. You know, honestly, I didn't believe it was a thing. So I looked into what this guy was saying and talking about. And I think I fell onto the exact same track line he did. And I tried the first one I could find. And oh my God, I cannot. There's not enough brain bleach in the world to get that image out of my head. I understood what he meant. No, he wasn't lying. Okay. Okay, I get it. That's not a solution. It was more of an adequate stopgap. It's been fucking 4 years now. Susan, why have you not really solved that problem? Oh, okay. All right, guys, this one's gone a little bit longer than normal. And I know I did wrap up this morning a little on the early side. Um, I'm also kind of pushing it on my time limits for the month. It's one of the reasons why I had to cut back on the afternoon streams because I was going to burn out all my time unless I get a professional account, which I can't. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Get your get home bag. No, geez, we love you, Susan. I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Get your get home bag ready because Niner 17 is coming. I don't care what you want to believe. Keep calm and manager carry on. Yeah, I know. Bernie. It sucks.